You can go ahead.
I'm Cecil France, JMU class of 2015.
And I'm Garlyn Bell, ODU, class of 2013.
Story. Um, his best friend and my best friend are line sisters for the Zeta chapter Ronu at ODU. So we had been in the same spaces a couple of times and probably didn't even know it.
I didn't remember.
So just through stories from my friend Jordan, I would hear like, oh, Garlyn. They lived together for a little bit. So we ended up following each other on Instagram. Um, where does it go from there?
I would say to kind of when we first met, officially met, he had came to visit Jordan at ODU. They had ended up coming over my house because of me and Jordan were cool at that point, and her and my brother were cool. When they walked in, I had had a few drinks, and for lack of better words, I had commented on his stature. I was like, wow, you're really tall. Use different words, but same thing. So I guess that kind of said that I was an interest there. And then from there, I'm kind of oblivious at times, so there were hints being thrown on social media. You know, we are in that social media era, and I just wasn't picking up on it. So one night, I was on Twitter, and he had tweeted, well, I guess my, ways of trying to be noticed are being ignored. And recently, he had just liked a lot of my pictures on Instagram. So I was like, yeah, real old
We
school.
didn't have DMs on Instagram.
Right. So then I kind of subtweeted, and I was like, is that about me? Is that for me? And then he tweeted the eyes. So I was like, oh, wow, he talking about me. So then I ended up shooting him a DM on Twitter, the little cell phone emoji, and then he messaged me back and sent me his phone number.
Yeah. So for everybody that went to JMU with me, I wasn't out then. So, I think people see it on social media now and they're like, oh, it's been a lot of support and love. I had a lot of anxiety about it just because being bisexual, only dating women before, I didn't want that to be discounted. I wanted to be recognized for who I am, bisexual black man. So that was very important to me. But I've had a lot of support from all my friends. I haven't lost any friends. I've gained even more now that, I'm living fully in my truth. So it was a slow process, I feel like. Like we dated for 3 years and my parents didn't even know until I was ready to move up here. So it's been very slow, but there's been a lot of grace from him, a lot of patience, and just a lot of love.
Absolutely. And for me, I'm like the total opposite. So I'm one of those people, I don't feel like I ever really had to come out. I've just always been me. Of course, if people would ask, I would tell them, but I've just never had that moment of like having to set people down or, having a conversation. I mean, I remember vividly, me and my mom were in a drive-through when I was in like middle school, I think. And, she just kind of passively asked, and I'm like, yeah, girl. Like, so it's always been very kind of cool like that. And my friends, again, they've just always met me as me. So I've never had that, but it has been really cool to see his journey and give me a different perspective. Like he said, it took a lot of patience because I didn't have the same experience. So I think we've learned a lot from each other, just from my freedom of always being that way. And then also me seeing that, I don't even say struggle, but just the process of being comfortable and trusting those around you to accept you as you are. So why did I choose ODU? To be honest, it was my best friend, Dana. She had already decided that's where she was going. I hadn't really made up my choice yet, but we did go down there for a visit, and I just fell in love. The campus was beautiful. It was very diverse. The people that took us around the campus were just really friendly. It just made me really excited, and because she was going there, it just made it, even easier. And it was the best choice.
So I landed on JMU. I was in this pre-college program called Upward Bound. We went to JMU. It was a cold, rainy day, and I still loved it. And I was thinking, if I love it this much in the cold and rain, this has got to be the place for me. So that's how I landed on JMU, my junior year of high school. And I would say it is the University of Virginia still to this day. So I'll let you go first.
What would I tell my younger self going into ODU? Do you. It's going to turn out great. you're going to meet great people. Don't be nervous. It is going to be a bit of a culture shock from where you went to high school, but it's going to just teach you a lot about your culture. You are going, again, meet some amazing people that you are going to carry into your adulthood that you are still friends with now. So yeah, just do you. Follow the path. It's worth it.
For my younger self, I would definitely tell him it's going to be okay. You can be as brave as you want to be. Like, you can fully live in your truth, and nothing's going to change. Everybody that's supposed to be in your life is going to be there. I think I would have made a lot more friends and connections a lot earlier on living in my truth. So just be brave and live in your truth. That's what I would have told 18-year-old Cecil going into JMU.
Wow.
So many.
As I say, it's so many. Favorite memory. I had the privilege of going to college with my two best friends, and in some ways you might think how that would hinder you in like your growth or branching out. We didn't have that process, so being able to branch out and meet new people and experience something, but also have like two of your closest people with you like the whole time. That's probably my favorite thing about ODU, is that we did it together, but we still remained individuality, but still was able to support each other and have such an influence on our college career. So I wouldn't change that for the world.
It's so many things. I would say probably just the brotherhoods that I formed. It was several groups: Pink Thing, ENT, the house. Everybody came to a party at the house, hashtag the house, and then Kappa. Like, just the brotherhoods that I formed in all those different pockets. Because my closest friend, still to this day, from high school, well, really elementary school on, is a female. So I really wanted like just that male and masculine energy around me. So being able to have that in so many different pockets, I think, is my favorite memory.
And to piggyback on that, I think that's something we share in common. Given my story, being like a gay black man and just have always been that way, I was somewhat always intimidated by all male spaces. So being able to be in a Greek organization, shout out to Phi Beta Sigma OI chapter, that was really awesome to be welcomed and to create the bonds that I've had, that I've carried, over 10 years now, has been really awesome and just reaffirming for me to just be myself, and that the right people will gravitate to that.
Yeah, I think like definitely my organization, my chapter, most of all my alum brothers have been like biggest blessing. Like, I've been in two of their weddings. They're going to be at my wedding. Like, I think we're definitely locked in for life. So I think it's important to give back, especially at a school like JMU. It's such a small population of us. Like, we have to feed into the next generation. I had a lot of older alumni pour into me to turn me into the man I am today. They still show me love and support. So I would say the biggest way I give back is by trying to keep my chapter connected, like connect the younger brothers to the older brothers. I try to get everybody's contact information. Just try to keep us connected as a chapter is my biggest form of giving back right now.
I would say my way of giving back is similar. I try to give back through my chapter. So it kind of giving back, whether it's monetarily, with time, if it's with advice, showing up for events, just because, again, that was such a big part of my experience. And knowing what that did for me, I want that to be available or an attraction for other people to have the same experience. I do, as I am maturing and, better jobs and things like that, want to give back monetarily. I go back to ODU and I see what they've done with the campus. That ODU is a school that I truly can see the investment. Some schools I feel like you go to and it's like we pay these high tuitions and it's like, well, where is the money going? But ODU, you go down there, you see the investment. You see that they are really building up the school. So that is my next stage of giving back. Okay. What I like about JMU, I have been a couple of times. I love the campus. I think it's beautiful. I mean, they did a really great job with that campus. It's a lot of walking, but it is a beautiful campus. And I love the memories that it made for Cecil. Just hearing about the parties and all these different things that he got to go through is really cool to hear that. Now, why ODU is better is not only do we have a beautiful campus, but we're so diverse. I think that's one of the biggest things I love about ODU is that I went to school with so many different types of people, and we coexisted so well. Like, we all got along, we did so many different things together, and we got lit. I mean, that era of ODU is undefeated, and you can ask anybody who's been class of 2013, oh, we got it in. So, enough said.
What I like the most about ODU is, like, they have a city. Like, they can go to, like, a bar downtown. They have more, like, some of their lit memories aren't, this just not all house parties like JMU.
Enough said.
I would say JMU is better because we had to make our mark on Madison with what I feel like was less resources than ODU. So, especially for the Black alumni and Black students, like, we had less resources, we had less, like, administration in our favor, but we still made a mark on Madison that is undeniable. Like, we have the yard, we have all these great things that have happened because of all the work that we put in.